Hey guys, me again, Orkslayer, what if? So where I last left off, Deku and Elizabeth went hunting, came back, and a few other things happened that weren't of great importance, but Elizabeth essentially has sort of figured out in her brain after people from Jack's crew show up and say that they're looking for a nerrgegante. As she saw how Deku was acting about the situation, she pretty much pieced it together that, oh, that's you they're looking for. As she pretty much takes him off to like a place where they can be alone. As he's quiet and she's quiet, she's like, well? He's like, oh, well, what? Are you going to explain to me? Or... As he's like, or what? He's like, Deku? Yes, Elizabeth? I ain't gonna turn you in if that's what you're scared of. But I can't have you be around here without knowing in confidence that you won't pose a threat to anyone here. He's like, I've been here for ages. Why would I try to hurt any of you? He's like, you haven't been here for ages, Deku. You've only been here for a few months. I think. Time flies. But that doesn't change my point. Deku, just explain to me what happened. You can trust me. You know that. He's like, like you said, I've only known you for a few months. Well, if I was going to do anything, I would have tossed you already. Now, would I? He's like, I guess you would. Now explain. As he's like, okay. As he then goes through the process of explaining his life story, or at least his life so far, she's like, shit. He's like, what? I was not expecting it to be like this. You weren't lying, I can tell that much. Crap, what do I do? As she's thinking in her head, well, she's running it through her head. Gotta get... sorry, I'm recording this late. She's, like I said, she's running it through her head. What she do? She comes to the conclusion that they can't do anything just yet. So she'll hold off. As Deku's like, for how long? Long enough till I can think of an idea. As it's like, alright, so... Got any... Where do you need to go so that way you'll be safe? He's like, nor far, just I'll stay here for now. I'll be safe here, I know that. He's like, yes, you will. Now come on, I think it's getting close to lunchtime. Like, really? He's like, yeah, I'll pay for it today. Yeah. Alright. As they head to lunch, Elizabeth, now knowing Deku's secret, starts thinking, I need to think of something to do for Deku. Where can I take him? Where can he be safe? She doesn't know. She's like, oh, they came here. Maybe back. She's like, me and you are gonna go to one of the different different towns deeper in. It's like, is that safe? It's like, it may be. They're just sending out a couple of guys looking for you. It may be safer to go into the deeper part of the jungle. It's like, do you know of any place where they have a place set up? He's like, no, just which places would they most likely be if they were gonna sell people for slaves? He's like, well, there's this point. Alright. I got a nice little map here. We should be safe for now. As they go on the journey. Over the course of a few months, they're traveling day and night, moving forward and going on and on and on. They're doing good. Deku is, having fun. Nothing much happens, really. He's just having fun. As Deku has continued his journey, journey, he's making memories, you could say. As when they parted ways, they like said goodbye, everyone. It's like, bye, Deku. Even like the champion like gave Deku some stuff. He's like, good luck, kid, and stay safe. As is like, thanks. As they never really got his name, they just called him Ogre or Zen. As eventually Deku and Elizabeth arrive at the city or town, and yeah, so they arrive at the city and like go to a hotel, you could call it, hang out there. As the very next day, or not the very next day, as they stay there for about a week, it's like, are we getting closer to one of the cities, Elizabeth? She's like, yeah, we should be approaching one soon. She like opens a map. What about you, Deku? How are you doing with your studies? As yes, he is still like, she knows a bit of stuff, so she's trying to teach him. As it's like, well, I'm doing pretty well, I would say. Like, not bad, not good. It's like, I guess that works until we can get you somewhere settled. Anyways, so Deku, as Deku's like, before you say anything, Miss Elizabeth, what are you gonna do? It's like, what? Well, you said you did something, but you never really told me what. I believe yeah. She never told him what she did. She's still keeping that close to her chest. As eventually, like, Deku and Izumi along the way just run out of funds. It's like, he's like, you know what? Stay here. As they're like trying to figure out what to do for money and such, since there's no quest to go out hunting or anything. They're like, ladies and gentlemen, as then it's announcement of the fighting pits. Deku's like, I could do that. As it's like, Deku, no, that seems dangerous. It's like, no. It's perfectly fine. Like, I know how to use some of the weapons. If I can't use my power, then we can do it there. It's like, true, kid, true. Alright. We'll check it out and see if it's something you can do. As it's nothing much, just a small little thing. Who's brave enough to take on this small pack of Jagrasses? Let's find out. As they're like pointing up to the crowd, nobody's wanted to take it. Deku raises his hand and it's like, we got a young one. How old are you, kid? As he says, like, let's just say he's around 13. Well, 16, 12 and a half, I believe. Maybe 12 and like 3/4. Like, well, get on down here. As it's like, so, do you know what these are? Yes. Do you know how to kill them? Yes. And that's all we need to know. As they strap, they don't, sorry? They're like, do you have a quirk you're gonna use, or no, actually, I'm gonna use the sword and shield. So like, standard, kid. Alright, you're his trainer or something? Like, you his mother or something? Yes, yes I am. It's just like, I guess you were a hunter at one point? I was. We're tired now. Got tired of it, you know? So many regulations. It's like, yeah. Tell me about it. I quit because they wouldn't allow me to hunt Devil Joes to extinction. Those bastards need to die. She's like, oh yeah, that's kind of similar to me. As Deku looks up at her, she's like, no, it ain't the truth, Deku. Now get in there. As Deku hops into the arena. As he makes quick work, as is like, whoa! Well done, kid. You've done alright. Well, if you go up across there, you'll receive your payment. Till then, ladies and gentlemen, the next challenge is, as that's where they like go up and get their payment. So because like it seems much easier than actually going out hunting. She's like, it really is, isn't it? As they buy themselves, well, not buy themselves, but rent a nice room for them, so that way they could just lay low for a little bit. As Deku's like, this was interesting today, wasn't it? Indeed it was, Deku. Indeed it was. But should be getting close. As they like flip open a thing, it's like another month. Damn, we're not close at all. is she's like, if you probably transformed, you could travel much easier. He's like, that's not happening. He's like, why not? It's like, think about it like this. Deku. Well, not Deku. Elizabeth is like the one stating that if he traveled more, we could travel more quickly if you just transform. Deku's like, yeah, no. Because if they start seeing things about, oh, this weird monster, and if someone snaps so much as a picture, they put it up, it's gonna be like, wild nerrgegante has been found. Repeat, wild nerrgegante. We'd have more than just Jack to worry about. We'd have an entire government and the entire Hunters Guild probably coming after me and trying to take my neck. Good point, Deku. Good point. So what? We're just gonna stay here until everything's all fixed? Also, happy Valentine's Day to everyone. And yeah, I guess that's right. Well, I'm gonna go get some shut-eye, Deku. It's like, alright, no, he's sleeping a little bit. I was like, alright. Good night, kid. As she lays down and goes to bed, Deku's like, good night. Maybe they're having more events. As he looks outside, they see that there are more events going on. As he's like, alright then. Deku going out and seeing what they're fighting. Nothing too special. It's just a couple of guys fighting each other. Like, just brawling, as you would say. It's like, yeah, as more people are taking bets, as Deku's like, hey, can I bet? As it's like, sure, kid, why not? As then Deku bets, and well, Deku takes a bet, and he sort of bets on the guy that everyone's betting against one dude to lose. So Deku bets on him to win. As it's like, oh, that kid has no idea. As the guy's like getting thrown around the ring, Deku's like, hey, watch it, like, come on. As it's like, as the guy falls down, Deku's like, come on, get up. I know you can do it. As the guy's like, as he looks up, he's like, a kid? Oh, God. Am I really that bad that people are, a kid is the only one voting on me? As it's like, yes. As Deku's like, come on, I know you can do it. As he's like, I guess can't let a kid down now, can I? As he's like, alright. As he gets back up, as the guy comes, like, the guy who's been throwing him around is a bit cocky. So he gets a bit arrogant as he charges right at him. As there's no rules to how you fight. So the guy goes, alright, he's charging right at me. Guess there's nothing else I can do aside from this. As it's like, what's he gonna do? He scoops down, picks up dirt, throws it into the guy's eyes, hits him in the throat, and then pretty much just, puts him in a sleeper hold. As everyone's like, oh, that went quickly. As it's like, and the winner is that guy. As it's like, Deku's like, yeah, I won, haha. As he's like, nice job, fellow. He's like, yeah, thanks, kid. As they both get a cut from the winnings. Or, well, yeah, the guy gets winnings and also some of the bets. Deku gets more of it, though. As he's like, I pretty much just quadrupled my money while doing this. As it's like, yeah, not a very good look, it seems. As Deku's like, hey, what would have happened if I lost? It's like, you would have just lost your money, nothing more. It's like, good point. But he's like, now I won, so, guess I don't have to worry about that. As the people are like, yeah, you don't, kid. Yeah, you don't. So, they deciding to, just call it quits that night, as everyone's like, man, this was stupid. Guy was holding back the entire time. Maybe that kid could just smell the talent on him. I don't know. As it's like, who cares? We lost. We'll try it again tomorrow. As Deku returns to pretty much the room they got, as Elizabeth wakes up and he's like, huh? Deku, what are you doing? As she was barely asleep. As it's like, oh, I just gambled a little bit and I won. It's like, what? What you gamble on? A fight. Losing fight, tell you the truth. As it's like, really? It's like, yep. Won by skin of my teeth, you could say. So, like, how? As he goes on to explain to Elizabeth, oh, I see. Man, that was bullshit. She's like, yeah. Well, Deku's like, yeah, I kind of was probably in the same boat as the other guys if I hadn't won. So, he's like, yeah, oh well. Let's move on from that, shall we? Deku going back and sleeping. Since, nothing much else happens. As they stay around there for a couple of weeks, Deku fights in the fight pit. Elizabeth does it like once or twice, thinking, well, it's good to get some exercise, I guess. As they mainly just like do a few odd jobs, you could say. As Deku makes a winning bet here and there as well while betting on fights. And Elizabeth has actually taken to betting on Deku, as he did have to fight at least one actual guy. As this guy was pretty well known, as they're like, yeah, there's no way this kid's beating him. It's like, hey, what kind of fight is this? It's like, it's not a fight to death, thank God. It seems like whoever goes down first fight. So, as a few of the guys, as most people again are like, yeah, I'm not voting for him, not voting. As the guy who Deku bet on in the first time, bet on the first time, he's like, know what? As he's like, I put all this on the kid. As it's like, what? As Elizabeth's like, yeah, I put some on the kid too. It's like, so you're the kid's mother, right? He's like, sort of. Yes, I guess. He's like, huh. How did you teach him how to fight? He learned a bit here and there from other people too, but not all from me, so it's like, I guess that's a good thing. They deciding to watch as Deku pretty much jumps around the arena, as he has activated his powers a little bit to get a bit of enhanced strength. As a guy comes rushing at Deku, pretty much like he pretty much just intends to overwhelm Deku. Deku's like, punch there, punch there, punch there, and groin shot. As it's like, oh, kid, that's dirty. He's like, who says wherever there are no rules about fighting dirty? And plus, my friends have, some people just bet on me. The majority are against me. As the guy goes to throw like a backhand at Deku pretty much just ducking under the blow, as then he's just like, alright, uppercuts and just pretty much breaks the guy's nose. As the guy like moved his head out of the way for the first hit, as Deku then I'll change what I said, not an uppercut. Deku went to go punch the guy, as he like leaned backward and fell on his back. Deku then jumped up and pretty much brought his leg up and pretty much just hit him with the heel right in the face. As the guy's just like, he's out. Ding, 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 ding. Deku having won the fight. And they get the betting. As the guy's like, I guess it's a good thing I placed my faith in you like you did me, kid. Deku's like, yeah, I guess that's true. So, you gonna do anything after this? I'm gonna go get something nice to eat. It's like, well, if you got one that is a canteen around the corner, has the best jaggrass stew. It's like, what's the deal with everyone loving jaggrass stew? It's like, kidding me, kid? It's a good thing around here. It's like the most plentiful thing, but also jaggrass meat and such goes great with any combination of food you can think of. Meat, but other meat you might want, you will throw jaggrass in there. You want a soup, use jaggrass. You want a vegetable, you throw a little bit of jaggrass grease on there. It's like jaggrass grease. Yeah, they have like their fat from their body is tastier, you could say, than other creatures. Hey, stop trying to lick me. Deku deciding, sure, why not? As they go over, eat some, and it's delicious. As then they as they're waiting, it's just like kicks open the door, as it's like, hey everybody, we're here from a month ago. Deku's like, oh no. As it's like, have you guys heard any news? As it's like, as they all turn their heads away from them, it's like, come on. In this little shanty town, it's condoned. It's condemned. It is allowed in this little town that they have. So it's nothing wrong with turning in a monster that could possibly kill everyone in here. It's like, yeah, man, we heard your spiel before. Again, we're not turning anyone in. That ain't our style. It's like, style this, style that. When are you guys never about your style? Well, I guess it doesn't matter. We'll get this out of your hair soon enough. But until then, we'll keep coming back again and again. As the one guy says he's like, hello. You guys may have heard my name said here and there by these guys. My name's Jack. As Deku's like, oh shit. As he puts on his hood and like keeps his face low, as Elizabeth's like, what's wrong, Deku? It's like, that's Jack. He's the one who's probably gonna know my face the best. So let's keep quiet and like try to sneak out of here. As Jack's like, so anyways, we're gonna hang on a second. As he's sniffing around, alright, everyone, hoods off. As it's like, wait, what? As it's like, he's here among you. I can smell him. Deku, if you give up now, everybody here will be free to go. Come on, and whoever you're with will be spared too. As it's like, Deku. As the guy that's sitting next to Elizabeth and Deku sees Deku as he has his head down real low. As the guy's like, oh. As the guy starts reaching towards his sidearm. As he gets up and is like about to shout, Elizabeth lunges forward with one of her dual blades and stabs the guy. As it's like, come on, Deku, run out of here. As Deku pretty much flips over a table and actually transforms a little bit and throws the table essentially as it hits one of the guys near Jack. As it's like, well, hello, Deku. As Jack activates some of his ice powers, throwing a bit of like an ice cloak around Deku and Elizabeth. As Deku pretty much runs to cover Elizabeth, he's able to do it somewhat effectively, as the cold doesn't bother the nerrgegante. It's like, the cold never bothered me anyway. Lightning does. But Deku pretty much grabs a spike out of his arm and throws it at Jack, as it scrapes Jack's face, as he's like, oh, you little bastard. As he goes to charge at Deku like, yeah, ain't no dice. So he pretty much grabs Elizabeth, transforming fully, as they crash like outside, like a few stories down. As everyone's looking and sees Deku, he's like, jump on, Elizabeth. As he rushes off with Elizabeth right on his back, she's like, Deku. He's like, keep holding on. As he smashes through one of the gates surrounding the town. As it's like, damn it. Jack transforms and flies after him. Deku's like, well, this ain't be fun or pretty. So, let's see how well I can do in the end. As the chase scene starts. Sorry this is really short, but it's late. And thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed this. Hope you guys continue to enjoy this. I hope you guys have a nice day, nice night, nice life.